the war chief is back. So this is the thing that I had wanted to talk about today, actually. This is actually like really, really big news, and I saw this whenever I was going to bed. I would say, like, I don't know, like, my life's out of control, so I have no idea whenever anything happened ever. But it looks like Chris Metzen, I'll read it, right? Let's just read it. We're excited to share that Chris Metzen has taken on a full-time role as Executive Creative Director of the Warcraft universe. Right now, his main focus is supporting our Warcraft leadership in World of Warcraft leadership in crafting the next generation of adventures. Chris was instrumental in developing the foundations of the Warcraft universe, and we are thrilled for him to rejoin our teams in shaping what's to come. At BlizzCon, he and the team will be sharing what we've been working on. We hope to see you there. Now, I'm sorry to say, but I'm a little bit, like, I'm kind of happy about this. I am. I'm like, I don't know about soy facing, right? I mean, if they announce Classic Plus, then you're going to get it, right? But until then, I'm still excited because here's the thing, right? Is that Chris Metzen was the guy that drew all of the original fucking art. Like, this was the guy that whenever I go back and I'm like, remember whenever World of Warcraft used to be a manly game for men? I'm talking about Chris Metzen's art. That's basically it. So maybe some of the people at Blizzard finally got sick of a story being about femboys and girls talking about how the war chief made them feel, or how their dad made them feel, and now finally we're gonna get a real goddamn fucking game. Now, look, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm gonna just say it. I'll believe it when I see it. I want to see it. I've been hoodwinked before. But it's at least nice to see. It's nice to see them trying, you know? Like, that's it. Calm down. Yes, exactly. I want to see it. And, like, look at, dude, these are so good. Holy fuck, man. Like, I remember, dude. Oh, my God. Wow. It was so fucking good, man. It really was. And like you got this little manual and all of this stuff, like all of this stuff here was in the manual. It was fucking badass. Oh my God. It was a dark game with big, hairy, sweaty men trying to kill other big, hairy, sweaty men. And thank fucking God, it seems like maybe there's a chance of that coming back. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But yes, Chris Metzen is back to World of Warcraft. He is the executive creative director. I think this is kind of a big deal. I do. You think Metzen will have freedom he should have with the shareholders behind him? I think that they're, like, if I was Blizzard, this is what I would be like. I can't get any worse. That's what I'd say. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck. Just let him try. Let him see what happens. And it sounds like a fake position that sounds good, but no, there's a lot of executive creative directors with things. Like, I don't think this is weird at all. Like, trying to, like, direct the message and, like, the story of something like this. Think about any sort of, like, really big IP. Like, I think MCU is probably the best example. Like, of course they have somebody like this for the MCU. Of course they have somebody like this for any sort of, like, a very large, like, creative universe like this. It's definitely a good thing. I have zero faith in Metzen. I have more faith in Metzen than I do in the current team. Okay? And I'm not hoping for amazing. I'm just settling for better. That's it. So yeah, I'm happy to see this. Do you think the main focus will be Classic Plus? I think that they should scrap retail completely. I think the game's completely gone off the rails. It went off the rails in Mists of Pandaria. Yeah, I think it went off the rails after in Cataclysm, right? Like, it's completely gone. Like, what the fuck is going on? There's too many things in the game. It's just bloated beyond repair. Make Classic Plus. Just redo it. Redo it. Your collection? Oh, my collection. My collection of I don't know. Bro, it's not like I think they should delete retail. I don't think they should delete it. I just think they should invest into something that's for the future. Like, what good is a collection if nobody cares? You see what I'm saying? And what does Classic Plus mean? Classic Plus, so let's talk about this, okay? BlizzCon best case scenario, okay? Metzen comes out, announces Classic Plus, okay? That's immediately what happens. Now, for Classic Plus, I think that they should clean up a little bit of the graphics, like to make sure that like some of the like texturing that's like obviously just like bugged out is fixed. But I actually don't think they should make the graphics really good. I don't think they should update the graphics for retail at all, or to retail. I think that they should just, you know, improve like a few texturing problems, etc., and then keep it the way it is. Like a good example of like what I mean is like the Warp Stalker. The Warp Stalker looks really nice, and just have it like that. And so then announces new raids, dungeons, zones. I also think that they should make, like, I mean, this is basically it, by the way. That's the whole thing. Modernize dungeons for less time-wasting mechanics. Modernize dungeons. No. You know what I really think they should do? If they really want to make, because like, so one thing, this is like kind of like it might be confusing, but I actually think that they should do two separate things. So I think they should change retail dungeons to make them more streamlined, but I don't hold on to that same philosophy for Classic WoW, because they're fundamentally different games, and I think they cater to different audiences. So I actually don't want to see any dungeons modernized. I'm going to say something that this might surprise a lot of people. I think the Burning Crusade dungeons, the only, I think, genuinely great dungeons in WoW, were the ones in Classic WoW. I don't think any of the dungeons in, like, Burning Crusade or Wrath or Cataclysm really had the same, like, substance to them that the original dungeons did. And so, like, whenever I think of, like, the greatest dungeons of all time, right? Greatest dungeons of all time. BRD clears everything. And it's not even close. After that, Maradon is amazing. Let's see. Sunken Temple. Fuck. Dead Mines. Yep. Dead Mines. Dead Mines is very, is actually quite, linear. But, Zul'Farrak. Yep. ZF. I will say, I think Mechagon is so well designed and so good. I think Mechagon deserves to be on the list. I really do. I know people are going to get upset about this because it's not a classic dungeon, but I really believe this. Uldaman, I'm not a big fan of Uldaman, honestly. don't really like it a whole lot. Strat. I don't know how to spell it, but yeah, it's something like that. Let's see, like, other greatest dungeons of all time. Court of Stars? Yeah, Court of Stars probably would be on there. Also, this is my opinion. Vault of the Wardens, I think, should be on there. Oculus? No, I didn't really like the Oculus. Scarlet Monastery? I'm gonna be honest. I don't really think Scarlet Monastery was that great of a dungeon. I don't. I think it was okay. But, like, I think people like Scarlet Monastery because it gives really good gear. And also, like, there's not a lot of questing to do at, like, that same level. So, like, Scarlet Monastery is, like, a fucking a saving grace of that time period. But, like, yeah, it's nostalgic, too. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't really think it's, like, that amazing. White Mane? Yeah, true. It's very fragmented and linear compared to the classic dungeons. I think there's one more classic dungeon I'm not thinking of that's like also insanely good. I'm not sure if it's Skolomonts, if it deserves to be on the list. Maybe it does. Oh, LBRS. Yeah, there it is. So, these are the dungeons that are, in my opinion, the greatest dungeons of all time. And the majority of them are in Classic WoW. And the reason why I think these dungeons are the greatest dungeons of all time, and why I think BRD clears every dungeon that's ever existed, and it was made in 2000, probably realistically 2003, is that BRD, whenever you zone into BRD, you are going into a dwarven underground city. Like, it feels like you're traversing, like, you go through the same bridges, like the Bridge of Khazad-dûm in, like, Moria, in Lord of the Rings, and stuff like that. It's just, it feels like you're in a true city. You're in a real area. And, like, yeah, it's really long, and it's, like, a huge time commitment, and it's not efficient, and, you know, it's, like, but, like, think about how many different ways people play BRD. Some people play BRD to do Emperor runs. Some people do BRD in order to get to Molten Core and to complete that quest line. And the lava jump run. Dude, that's fucking amazing. Everybody does it. It's like literally a trial by fire. It's beautiful. I cannot express how much I love it. So, yeah, BRD is greater than raids. BRD is better than raids. And then you have people that are doing the, what do you call it? Like the SGC runs, Savage Gladiator Chain, the chess piece, like the arena runs. Then you have people that are doing, like, experience runs, etc. A Nixia quest, yeah. Like, no, I mean, I didn't forget it. I was just going through the list. And then you die in BRD, and you run back, and you encounter an NPC that you can only talk to when you're dead, who gives you a key to open up the rest of BRD. It's beautiful. It's so much better than anything Blizzard's ever made. It's so good. And it goes against every modern rule that WoW has. Yeah, so first, you craft the legendary Hammer of Ragnaros at the anvil in the heart of the fucking dwarven city. And you have to go in there, and by that time that you go in there and you have all that gear, you can do it and it's no big deal. It's fucking amazing. Like, Maraudon is, I think Maraudon is amazing too. I really love I think that the dungeons in Classic WoW are just so good. LBRS and UBRS? LBRS is on the list. UBRS, I personally like LBRS more. I think it's more dynamic and more interesting, but they're both amazing. Please do hardcore WoW, bro. If I keep talking about this, I might have to. Like, I'm getting so fucking pumped just talking about this. So the thing is, like, again, going back to Metzen, right? Is that Metzen was there whenever these dungeons were made. Right? Now, I wasn't there for this one. He was there for these, to be fair. So I want to see... I don't think that this is going to have anything to do with Metzen, by the way. I think the only thing that Metzen's going to be involved with is, like, making sure the story and narrative and vibe of the game is good. Like, I don't think that's really his only job. But that's enough, right? Like, that's all I want to see. But, like, that's why I want Classic Plus. What do you think of Shadowfang Keep? I think Shadowfang Keep is an amazing dungeon. I do. I really like it. There's some things about Shadowfang Keep that I really, really, really enjoy. I think, like, they've clearly tried to take a narrative after Legion. Every plot point and every plot device that I can think of after Legion has been bad. Like, is there anything that was good after Legion? Now, let me think. Ysera's return? I thought that was stupid. I don't think they should have brought Ysera back. I'll be honest, I don't think so. I think that was stupid. Yeah, they kind of did handle Saurfang pretty well. All things considered, yeah, I think they did. I'll give them credit for that. It was okay. Sure. Jaina and the Borealis arc, I think that was okay as well. Sire Denathrius, yeah, definitely. I like Sire Denathrius. Bonswambi is base 2. You're right. Yeah, I guess there is a handful of them. All right. Yeah, okay. Rip the Drusvar story. Yeah, I remember that one was pretty good as well. Nathanos dying. That was okay, but it wasn't like really that amazing. Garrosh and Shadowlands. Yeah, but that was like just a 1-minute cinematic. But yeah. Just overall, but like, I don't know. I think that the overall vibe of the game, like, I'm glad you guys bring these up because you're right. There have been some good high points in the story, even after that. But I don't know. I think that they should go back to, like, I remember there was like a story, and it was a story of how Tyrion and this orc kind of bonded. Like, there was a video I think Platinum WoW did about this, and I think this is like the best. Like, if you watch this video, where is it? This video right here is probably like an example of one of these like really small scale stories. That there's the video if you guys want to watch it yourselves at some point. It's so good that like Metzen did, and it's about how Tyrion and this orc basically find, you know, there's like this bond of camaraderie, and he actually ends up helping this orc escape, and in doing so he gets exiled from the Silver Hand. But the reason that he's allowed to let him escape, it's a trig. Yeah, a trig. And I think that, isn't a trig still in the game? I think he is, I'm not sure. But he lets him escape, and the reason he was able to do that is because it's like during some like war in the game, and it was just so incredibly well done. And like the way that the story was created reminded me a lot of like, and this is like a very abstract analogy, but it reminded me of like Dark Souls 1 world, where like everything is connected and everything has like a place in the story, and once you see the greater story, the narrative makes sense. And I just want to go back to this. That's it. I want to go back to this. I think that what they should do is they should, like, I actually don't know how they should handle a lot of the Classic Plus stuff, and I'm waiting to kind of see what they're going to do. I think people want new raids. I think they should make raids that are a little bit harder, but not a lot harder. Like, Classic WoW is really popular because you can be a brain-dead dumbass, and you can still get all the best gear in the game just by raiding. That's why. Classic WoW is a game that is built... It is built with friction in mind. Now, there are some elements of friction in Classic WoW that I don't like. For example, I wish they had, like, dual spec or something like that. Just because, like, again, I think I'd play the game more if they had dual spec. I don't like having to respec and, like, the cost of that. But, like, and like, everybody has, like, their own thing of, like, what they'd want to see in the game, etc. But I would be fine, by the way, if they didn't really change hardly any of that stuff. I don't, like, really care that much. If they're adding new content, that's about it. Buff underperforming specs. Yeah, well, I think what they should do is, like, Rep Paladin is kind of good in PvP. I don't think Rep Paladin needs, like, a massive buff for PvP, but they should get Crusader Strike. They should get Crusader Strike the same way that, like, the Scarlet Monastery NPCs have it, where, like, every time it hits you, it makes you take more holy damage. And then, like, obviously on bosses, they have ramping damage, and then at the end, they can fucking use Hammer of Wrath and, like, do crazy execute damage and compete with warriors, right? Because they should be able to. But, like, it should be a stacking debuff. Shamans are fucked. There's a lot of classes. Like, obviously, I think Ellie Shaman, Moon Boy, and Rep Paladin are the three that really, really need help. And I do think that they should change some of those. Now, not dramatically, but they should just make them a little bit better. Make them actually playable. And I also think that they should add inside of Classic WoW, they should add Mage Tower challenges. They should do it. Because I think that's what old school RuneScape did. And they have so many of these, and I think it's massively successful. Why? Because because think about how many different things that in Classic WoW, it's built around one player being able to do something really cool and succeed in it. Whether it's like the Inferno, or sorry, not the Inferno. That was old school RuneScape. But like, let me think about like Classic WoW, right? You have like soloing the Hunter quest line. being able to do jump runs in Dire Maul, doing solo mage AoE grinding, whether that's even in a dungeon, soloing Dire Maul Tribute, yeah, completing ATS. Now that's actually a group one, but it's a smaller group one. I think those are some of the main ones that I would really get to. Warrior can't solo anything? Yeah, that's okay. Basically achievements. I don't think that they should bring... okay, so I don't want to see achievements in Classic WoW Plus. Here's why. Achievements direct gameplay, and I don't want to see achievements that direct gameplay. This comes as somebody who used to be number 2 in the entire region for achievement points. I don't want to see him in Classic WoW. I do, however, want to see cosmetics. I want to see a way... I think a rep paladin who gets corrupted Ashbringer in Naxxramas should be able to go to the inevitable Scarlet Cathedral raid, 40-man raid, and whenever he defeats the Scarlet Massive Commander, he purifies Ashbringer at the altar, and it turns into the original Ashbringer. I want to see that. Yeah. War cosmetics would be nice? Yeah. Fuck yes. Absolutely. And you go down into like this fucking... it's like some weird like throne room, and like some like anvil is behind it. It's like the black anvil in BRD. And also I want to see, like, for example, Sunken Temple. Imagine if they made like a raid and it worked the same way as like BRD. Or not BRD, fuck, why am I thinking about this? UBRS, how you can go into BWL. And at the end of Sunken Temple, you can go through a raid portal. Now, obviously, they'd have to make another way to get in it after you get, like, attuned or something. But, like, you go through a raid portal, and you actually go into the Emerald Dream itself. That would be fucking nuts, right? But, like, when's that gonna happen? I don't know. Hopefully at BlizzCon. I'm very excited, man. I really am. Hopium? Absolute fucking complete hopium. Yes. You're very much right. So I'm very happy about this. So let me go ahead and look at a few of these comments about Metzen coming back. This makes me think some of the reboot rumors are true. I can't wait for a classic reboot. Get that RPG back itch only classic gives. Yep, you're right. Anytime, if they make a Season of Mastery 2, I will play it. What's this? If Metzen can turn the tides, I think we'll be lost forever. There's hope, but just a fool's hope. I think this is probably the fucking... Jesus. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, that's the way I feel. Metzen was there till 2016, which is long after a lot of people tried to say the game was ruined. Yes, but the narrative of the game... I don't really think the narrative of the game was ruined until BFA. Like, I think the narrative in Legion was awesome. Yeah, I was totally okay with it. Now, I didn't like some things in Legion. But overall, WoD was really rough. Well, WoD was obviously cut content. I do think so. Yeah, WoD was cut content, and, like, that was it. Metzen was also not creative director back then. Yeah, there could be that, too. You think Bobby Kotick will stop milking the players because of him? I don't really care about getting milked as long as the game's fun and the game feels good to play. Yeah, I don't really give a shit about that. Blizzard's been selling nostalgia for the last decade. Yep, smart. Keep selling it. Return of the King? I hope so. This will change absolutely nothing. Well, we're going to find out really soon, because, like, BlizzCon's coming out really soon, and then, you know, we'll know. Here's how it'll go. Bobby, I have this really cool, fun idea. Does it buy me another yacht? Well, no, but get the fuck out of my office. I don't really... Bobby is confirmed no longer calling the shots whenever Microsoft deal closes, which could be as early as next month. There is that, and I think also, like, Bobby doesn't give a fuck what Metzen does. Bobby doesn't care. Like, it has nothing to do with him. Like, these are completely different. Like, he's designing the narrative of the game. It has nothing to do with that. Common thread, Blizzard leaks, as modern WoW just doesn't seem to resonate that much outside of Elite Raiders. Well, that's because WoW is designed by Elite Raiders for Elite Raiders. But that's why every single person who's playing this game... Like, again, just look at Retail WoW. Like, how can you tell that there's a Retail WoW stream? If you can't understand what's happening on the screen, then you're looking at retail WoW. Here, I'll give you an example. So, this is why the game is dying. Game saved, we're going in the saving direction. We're 1 3-minute cinematic away from finding out. Yep, there it is. And like, I don't really... Like, I'm not of this mindset where like, I feel like the game has to have... Like, I don't need the game to be saved, or like, I'm not looking to go back to play the game like 40 hours a day. I just want the game to be fun and to remind me of why I used to like playing it. I don't need it to change my life. I don't need it to do anything else. I just want it to be fun to play, and that's it.